You may have heard about a national fireworks shortage this year, but were things really that bad here in the four-state area? Some Joplin area fireworks dealers shed some light on the situation. Coming up.
How the vaccination rate in Arkansas compares to the rest of the nation in 4 states. A long-awaited grocery store opens in Humboldt, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Millions of Americans set off fireworks for the 4th of July, but how did local sellers fare? This is KOAM News at 6. There was concern about a national fireworks shortage this year, and with Independence Day in the rearview mirror, KOAM's Mike Mahoney reached out to Joplin area sellers to find out how this year's Independence Day compared to last year's.
The U.S. may have been dealing with a fireworks shortage this year, but that didn't stop some Joplin area sellers from having record-breaking sales. That includes Joplin homeless charity Watered Gardens, which raises money for their Forge program with a fireworks stand.
We saw an increase in sales of over 60% from last year, and the net proceeds that go to Watered Gardens Forge campus were up 33%, so we're very happy.
Watered Gardens credits their fully stocked tent to their partner, Military Fireworks, which also runs multiple fireworks stands in the Joplin area. Military Fireworks had their highest grossing year to date, but say that doesn't mean reports of a fireworks shortage were overblown.
There were a couple of things we were missing, like I said, that China unfortunately just were unable to fulfill the orders. But for the most part, I don't think anybody noticed any difference in our tents. We're fully stocked, I would say 99% stocked, and we had an overabundance of fireworks. As you can see, we're unloading tons right now.
Military Fireworks Operations Manager Jody Richards says their secret to success this year was simply ordering early.
Those orders were filled, of course, before everyone that ordered this spring, but that's the way we do business.
Things worked out for Watered Gardens and Military Fireworks in 2021, but Jody isn't convinced this is the last we've heard of a national fireworks shortage.
We work with several distributors. That's another reason why we can deliver as much product as we can. And what we're hearing from them, they expect 3 to 4 years before the firework shortage, quote unquote shortage, gets back to normal. For China to catch up fulfilling all the orders.
In Jasper County, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Watered Gardens says they raised about $10,000 through fireworks sales this year. That'll help them put 2 people through their Forge program. Nice weather continues. Doug Hetty.
Yeah, we had actually a pretty good holiday weekend. Temperatures mainly mid to upper 80s over the past couple days, and the humidity hasn't been that bad, which is always good to see. And that's what we're seeing out there right now. Another great day on tap for us. A little bit hotter than what we saw yesterday, but we have thunderstorms kind of rotating around us, but nothing is affecting the 4-state area, so it looks pretty quiet as we go through the evening. 85 in Nevada, 83 in Cassville. We have Veneta at 85. Chanute is checking in at 88 degrees. But with the humidity low, you can see our heat indices are about the same as our temperature, so that's always good news. Through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s. Eventually, later on tonight, we'll dip back to about 68, 69 degrees. We do have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. After Americans celebrated this July 4th weekend, there are concerns that low vaccination rates in some parts of our country could lead to new outbreaks of COVID-19. Only 18 states have fully vaccinated more than half their population. And with the more contagious Delta variant on the rise, there are fears that many people remain vulnerable. Reporter David Begnow visited Arkansas to learn more about the vaccination rate there.
It's the lunch rush hour at Trio's restaurant in Little Rock. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
We went to every single table and asked the same question. Have you been vaccinated?
Absolutely. Yes.
Everybody's an absolutely.
Absolutely. Despite Arkansas's reputation.
Look, that reputation isn't undeserved. Only 34.3% of Arkansas's population is fully vaccinated. Are you vaccinated?
I am.
And that's why Trio's co-owner, Cappy Peck, was shocked when she found out that every single person in the restaurant was vaccinated, except for one person.
Before we started this, I thought, I bet at least 80% of my customers are vaccinated. I was wrong.
But Arkansas's Governor Asa Hutchinson says outside of Little Rock is where it's a different story.
Well, certainly the rural areas of our state, we have more resistance, there's less vaccine acceptance.
Pulaski County, which includes Little Rock, has fully vaccinated about 40% of its residents. But in some of the state's rural counties, that number plummets to less than 25%. And COVID hospitalizations are climbing, up nearly 54% in just the last 2 weeks. And that is due in large part to the so-called Delta variant, which the governor says is spreading fast here.
Over 98% of the hospitalized patients have not been vaccinated. But as you see those cases going up and the risk increasing, then all of a sudden the vaccinations increase.
So you're saying as hospitalizations rise here in Arkansas, you're starting to see more people get vaccinated?
That's true. And so
driven by what, fear?
Well, I think it's driven by risk, that they see the risk increasing and say we've better go ahead and get vaccinated.
And right now, the demand for vaccines is up. On Wednesday, Arkansas recorded more than 10,000 shots in a single day. And that is the most they've seen since May. David Begno, CBS News, Arkansas.
According to state health departments, only 39% of Kansans have been fully vaccinated. Missouri also stands at 39% fully vaccinated. Oklahoma is at 38%. Humboldt, Kansas used to be classified as a food desert because of a lack of a grocery store, but recent opening has changed that. The new grocery store named Our Market took over the locations of the old Moon's Hometown Market, which closed more than a year ago. Our Market is a family-owned store trying to provide fresh, local products. The owners say they saw more than 300 customers on their opening day.
All the comments that I've heard around town is everybody's tired of traveling out of town, to the grocery store, and they're just really excited to have Our Market open.
Our Market opened July 1st, but they're going to host their official grand opening event this coming Saturday. 2 people died in separate Northeast Oklahoma crashes on the 4th of July. One was on West 100 Road, northeast of Copen, Oklahoma. The Highway Patrol says 29-year-old Ethan Smith of Caney, Kansas was killed when the pickup he was driving hit a bridge, went off the road, and struck a tree. The other crash was on US 59 south of Jay, Oklahoma, late last night. The Highway Patrol says 45-year-old Ricky Greenfeather of Veneta was driving a motorcycle that went off the road at a curve and hit a sign. Greenfeather died at the scene. A passenger on the motorcycle, 46-year-old Amy Rico of Grove, Oklahoma, was flown by helicopter to a Joplin hospital, then treated and released. Coming up, the Fort Scott Historical Site is continuing the 4th of July celebrations today. Also going to head to Little Rock to check out an annual Independence Day festival happening on the water there.
Sun Store.
Of course, millions of Americans celebrated Independence Day yesterday, and some organizations have kept the festivities going today. The Fort Scott National Historic Site hosted a discussion about small arms and had guided tours around the fort. There was also a photo exhibit looking at the history of combat photography.
People like to come out and learn about the history that's related to their hometowns. And really, national park sites are here for people to learn and enjoy and be inspired. And that's our mission as the National Park Service.
Fort also hosted events over the weekend, including guided tours, a history lesson of the summer of 1861, and artillery demonstrations. That was the sound spectators heard at the New Century Air Center for the Kansas City Air Show. The Geico Sky Typers Air Show team is based in Long Island and performed at the KC Air Show for the first time this weekend. Also, as is tradition, the U.S. Navy's Blue Angels were part of this show. The Blue Angels performance is highly coordinated, as you would imagine, so they spend a whole lot of time practicing. Thousands of people in Arkansas gathered in Little Rock to celebrate the 4th of July at the annual Pops on the River event. Features kids' activities, food trucks, and live music. Reporter Mercedes McKay has more on that festival.
Many people have been waiting for Pops on the River pretty much all year long. A lot of people I spoke to told me that they were just ready to be back out in a crowd again and celebrate a holiday the way we're all used to.
They
this is not just any holiday. This is a holiday that everyone can get behind. This is our Independence Day for the United States, and so that's important to everyone.
Fireworks, live music, and crowds of people filled the River Market area in downtown Little Rock on Sunday.
It's great to see everybody out here, people with their kids, eating and having fun and finding goodies.
After the pandemic caused Pops on the River to be canceled in 2020, event coordinator Amanda Copley described it as devastating. So, to be able to throw it for the community this year was that much more important.
It's really wonderful to be back. It feels really good. There's a great vibe here. Everybody's really feeling positive because we are back celebrating together.
Of course, post-pandemic, there were some changes to the annual 4th of July celebration, like encouraging people to stay 6 feet apart around the amphitheater and having a free vaccine clinic on site.
We have our sanitation stations out. Security is monitoring all of that as well. So we're really trying to do our best to make sure everybody feels safe.
Food trucks lined up one after the other while local vendors took over the River Market Pavilion. Vendors like Vanessa Sorrell, who is grateful events like these are happening again so she can promote her business.
I want this to be my retirement, so of course I need to get out there as soon as I could. Here I am.
With lines of people and fun in the air, Sorrell was surprised by the crowds, but grateful for some sense of normalcy.
It's great. It's great. Obviously there's a lot of people out today, so that's amazing.
This year's event was the 37th Pops on the River Festival. A little bit later, after being closed for 2 years for renovations, the Truman Presidential Library in Missouri reopens.
Plus, our temperatures heating up a little bit for us this week. Also, some rain chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, we ended up with great weather over the holiday weekend. Temperatures are warm, of course. It is July, but the humidity wasn't that bad over the past couple days. As you can see yesterday, mainly mid to upper 80s. Again today, mid to upper 80s, so very consistent over the past couple days. We're going to warm up a little bit, but not too much, which is good news. As of right now, it's nice. It's 85 in Nevada, 83 in Monette. We have Grand Lake at 85, 85 in Pitt. Neodesha is sitting at 87. Independence is checking in at 85, but our humidity is not that bad. Our dew points, they've come up a little bit over the past couple days. You can see most of us kind of in the low to mid 60s, which puts us in that not bad to kind of sticky range. And it could be a lot worse this time of the year, so thankfully we aren't seeing that, which means we don't really have a heat index. Our heat indices are about the exact same as what our actual temperature is. Outside right now, here's 7th and Rangeline. We're looking north, currently sitting at 86. West, southwesterly winds are light. Dew point is at 65. As we go through the rest of the evening, we're going to drop back through the 80s, 70s, and then eventually later on tonight, we'll dip down to about 68, 69 degrees. Nothing on the radar, just a clear sweep across the region. Pretty much mostly sunny skies, so nothing is going on. In fact, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma all are pretty much clear. Out to the west, here's our next little wave rolling through the northern parts of the Rockies, pushing into the northern parts of the plains. This is going to roll in on Wednesday, and it will give us some chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Let's drop south. We have Tropical Storm Elsa, which is spinning right across Cuba. Elsa is going to lift north, should never become a hurricane, but still is going to cause some issues down across parts of Florida. Clocking winds at about 50 miles per hour. You can see it rides right up the western coast of Florida and then makes landfall late Tuesday night into Wednesday, producing a lot of rain for Florida. Now really back here for us, we look okay. We're going to dip back to the upper 60s later on tonight. Now let's go through the daytime hours tomorrow. We heat up, partly sunny skies. I think most of us upper 80s during the afternoon. We'll start at 65, 83 by noon, high temp right around 89 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy. We'll drop back near 70 again, so we'll stop it early Wednesday morning. Let's go through Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies. There are going to be some pop-up showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon into the evening hours. These are going to be very scattered, but they are going to be out there, so we're going to watch that on Thursday, and then that system will slide through. So by the time we head into Thursday morning, most of the rain will sink to our south. So Thursday looks good. Friday looks good. As we head into the weekend, our next storm system rolls in. This will give us a little better chances for widespread showers and thunderstorms as we head into the weekend. But Just kind of a normal July week for us this week. 89 tomorrow, 90 on Wednesday, 88 Thursday, 93 on Friday. We do cool down with the weekend system a little bit, especially Sunday, high of 82, but chances for rain working back in Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week.
We've been fortunate this extended holiday weekend has been relatively nice.
Yeah, it really has, and we're going to continue to see, in general, a pretty good week.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, going to check out the newest renovations at the Truman Presidential Library after it was closed for 2 years. Rockabilly and country performer and Tulsa native Sanford Clark has died of COVID at age 85. Clark's publicist and fellow performer Johnny Vallis said Clark died yesterday, July 4th, at Mercy Hospital in Joplin, where he had been receiving cancer treatment before he contracted the coronavirus. Clark was born in 1935 in Tulsa, raised in Phoenix, where he began performing in the early 1950s. His hit song, "The Fool," reached number 7 on the Billboard Top 100. The song was later recorded by several other well-known artists, including Elvis Presley and the Animals. The Truman Presidential Library in Independence, Missouri is open for the first time in 2 years. It had closed for renovations. Reporter Brian Johnson joined descendants of the former president for a tour.
That's my favorite picture of my grandmother.
After $30 million in upgrades, the Truman Presidential Library is all new.
It's night and day. Night and day. There is so much more to see and do.
Grandson Clifton Truman Daniel experiences it for the first time. You'll see him in some photos.
That's what all the experts say.
And hear his voice narrate one of the new films.
I'm having trouble remembering what it used to look like. And I've been coming here since I was 2 years old.
He says the renovated museum is a great combination of more history made easier. Truman's presidency becomes more relevant in our time.
History is important because it's repeating itself a little too much, and a lot of what Truman fought for we're still dealing with today, so it's important to look back so we can move forward.
This is the library's first major renovation in more than 2 decades and the largest since it opened in 1957.
This one is a full immersive experience.
Workers finished the final touches before the doors opened to the public.
You could seriously just get lost in there and just enjoy yourself. Stop and read everything. I'm going to have to go back and through it 6 or 7 more times before I get it all.
Again, the Truman Presidential Library is in Independence, Missouri, near Kansas City. Tickets to see the museum are limited for now to avoid large crowds. Final check of the forecast next. Take time now to honor a local member of the armed forces. Richard Kraft joined the U.S. Army in 2012. The Joplin native has been stationed in Qatar and Africa, and we salute Specialist Richard Kraft, a 4-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, we're going to visit Key West, where people there and elsewhere are bracing for Tropical Storm Elsa. Also, studies suggest sugary drinks may be contributing to a rise in colorectal cancers among younger people. And going to tell you about an effort to break a 50-year-old record for time spent rocking back and forth on a teeter-totter. That, of course, much more coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
I think teeter-totters go up and down. I think maybe he's doing it wrong. Anyway, pieces of history have been returned home. The Brooklyn Museum in New York returned a collection of more than 1,300 items, including an unfinished tombstone, a large ceramic vase painted with beeswax, and ancient tools to Costa Rica. American tycoon Minor Keith brought the artifacts looted during the construction of a railway to the U.S. in the 19th or early 20th century, along with shipments of bananas. The weather continuing to be pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We're going to drop back to about 68 later on tonight. Hair hotter tomorrow, 89, 90 on Wednesday. A few scattered thunderstorms. Thursday and Friday look pretty good. Rain chances return by this coming weekend.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by the Wild Side.